Now we're going to talk about classes. So before we talked about you could create an object. So I could create an object that had my name, what if you wanted to create like lots of people? Okay, it gets a little hard to have to retype in all those keys and all that stuff all over again, and make sure they all have the same methods. Wouldn't it be nice if you just had a template called person or dog that you can create more dogs from? Well, that's what classes are. They're kind of like a template for an object. So if you want to create a new class, you just type in class. We're going to create a class called dog. And then it's just curly braces after that, class dog. Now, what's going to happen is that the first thing you're going to want to do is create what's called a constructor. A constructor function is a function that automatically runs when you create a new instance of dog. So every time you create a new dog, this is going to happen. There's also something called the destructor that'll happen anytime you destroy the class, but we're not going to worry about that today. So the way the constructor function works is you just type in the word constructor. It's a function, so you're going to put in parameters, and these are the parameters you would put when you create the item. Okay, and I'll show you in a second. So we're going to say the name of the dog, age of the dog, and the breed of the dog. Okay, and this is a function, so I have to define the function. So again, so this is going to be a little bit different syntax than you used for when you wrote functions before, either as callbacks or what now. So this is how you do it when you're doing a class. Okay, so in this case, you don't have to do the arrow and all that stuff. Okay, but basically, I just need to assign. Basically, what I'm saying is like I'm going to ask the person who creates the object to give me a name, and an age, and a breed. Now I want to make sure that this dog, this particular dog, has these variables as its variables. So I'm going to say, hey, this dog is going to have a name, and it's going to equal the name you gave me as a parameter. This dog is going to have an age that equals the age you gave me as a parameter. So this always represents this individual dog. So when you create a dog, every time that this variable is in the template, it's replacing with that particular dog's. So Sparky's name, Sparky's age. Okay, and then finally this dot breed equals breed. Okay, there we go. Now my dog's all set up. But I also want the dog to have the ability to bark. So I can create functions inside the dog that become the dog's methods. So and again, it's all within that dog curly brackets. So I'll create another function, and here I don't have to do like const or let, you just declare the function. So this one's going to be called bark. It takes no parameters, and it's pretty simple. It just console logs bark. Actually, we'll make it woof. Okay, then that's it. Cool. So we've just created our class, and this class can have as many methods, as many variables. I can make this as complicated as I like, but we don't want to blow your mind right now. Okay, so I created this dog, but I didn't actually create a dog. I created the template, the idea of dog. So no dogs actually exist yet, just the possibility of making them. So I need to actually create a new dog. I'm going to say const Sparky equals a new dog. Okay, and actually I have to capitalize the class name. That's sort of the standard convention. Always capitalize class names. So it's a new dog, and again, my constructor takes a few different parameters, so I need to give to them. So we're going to call this dog Sparky. Okay, we're going to say the dog has an age of 5, and the breed is Shih Tzu. Okay, now let's see if this dog actually now exists. So I'm going to console.log Sparky. So I'm not console logging a dog, but I'm console logging this individual dog. Okay, so now if I hit console over here, so see, there's a dog named Sparky, who's a Shih Tzu and is 5. Okay, and I can create more than one dog. So if I were to just copy this line of code, and then just do another one, we'll call it Spot. Spot is 8 years old, and we'll just say it's also a Shih Tzu just to keep life easy. Okay. And I gotta change the variable name, so make that Spot. Okay, so now I have 2 dogs that exist. one named Sparky, one named Spot, and they both can bark. So Sparky has so dogs have a method called bark. So since Sparky is a dog, they can call the bark method. And so can Spot. So now Spot barks. Okay, and again, it's just an object, so you call the methods and properties just like you would do with a normal object where you do the whole spot dot thing. So both dogs will bark. Save. And see, like I got two dogs, Sparky and Spot, and they both went woof. That's what a class does. Now, this can be used to do also really complicated things. You can make an object called, you can make an object called a card, for a deck of cards, and then create a bunch of instances of that card. And then another object called deck creates a bunch of cards to make a deck of cards. This can get really complicated as you play with it. So now that we've kind of learned all the basic tools in JavaScript, now it's just a matter of practice. Look up different coding exercises, coding challenges, and start putting this work. There's a lot more to play with and learn, different functions. So you want to read the JavaScript documentation. Again, look up different little JavaScript challenges. Look up videos where people learn JavaScript. I recommend checking out Learn Web Dev. Actually, I'll just put the link in the video description to where I have a bunch of videos that are really good for learning more. So that ends my series of JavaScript 101. I might do some more advanced JavaScript videos later, but this concludes JavaScript 101. I'll see you guys next time.